Welcome to TacosToGeeks.com. Justin here, back with more video game reviews, and today we are going to be reviewing Under the Waves, which is available now for your PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. As always, I give you a brief synopsis of the game, so without further ado, here we go with the story. Set in the depths of the North Sea in the techno-futuristic 1970s, professional diver Stan is struggling to overcome a life-changing loss and embrace a new future. The isolation of the deep sea is a fitting manifestation of his state of mind, and as Stan retreads further into his self-imposed solitude, he starts to experience strange events far beneath the waves. He will eventually have to make a difficult choice. And as far as the story goes, that's how as far as I'm going to go with it, with the synopsis. Not going to go into detail with it. I will have to say I did enjoy the story, but the best way to experience this game is to actually go in blind, not knowing what the whole core concept of the story is, what the story beats is. But I will have to say that Stan is a very compelling character, and this story, believe it or not, has some really good story development when it comes to that. Now, it comes to the gameplay and graphics. Let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. Now, this is a narrative-driven story, but there are gameplay elements in here that I feel are really well done, especially underwater. And if you watch our YouTube show, the UWL, you know how much I love the 7 Seas. And here at Stan, you have to do various missions that you're tasked with the company that you're employed with, such as sometimes you have to retrieve items, sometimes you have to do repairs around certain plants or certain factories that's underwater. Sometimes you have to do maintenance on your own ship, the Moon. There are a lot of missions here, and you also offer a variety of other missions, such as photo missions, which is some side missions where you get to take pictures of wildlife, and just being a vast wide of things that you're able to do. And you're able to either swim with Stan, or you can, in the best way, I highly recommend, because otherwise I'm going to get into the mechanics in a second, you have to pilot your submarine here called the Moon. And the way the controls work, it works very well. You have down button, which is, it's kind of is reversed. So down is up is down, and it feels comfortable. And you use the back shoulder buttons to really pilot your ship. Now, the one thing you have to do as well as to keep your eye on is your fuel and your oxygen tank. Sorry about that, I can't talk. Oxygen tank. And you have to make sure that Stan is always full, because the last thing you want to be is stranded. One thing I will say that the game does very well is creating a claustrophobic type of environment. There's corridors, there's caves to explore, there's elements in the game that you yourself are just going to be like, okay, this is a little creepy. I don't want to go down there, or start to wonder where or what this thing is or who's down there. So I think the gameplay wise, while very simple, it does give you a real feel of being kind of like this diver, this marine biologist, and it works very well. And I think the setting actually helped this game a lot. That's one thing I really did like about this, is that you're able to do things such as your main missions, your routine missions. That's what you do when it comes to repairs, and then you have your photo missions. It has enough missions for you to really just go out there and want to keep diving in. I couldn't put this game down. One thing also with the gameplay is, in terms of story as well, is that Stan keeps a logbook. Some are personal notes, some is for his company that he works for, Unitrench, and then he has his daily logs, which was supposed to be helping him with his mental health. And as you get more items throughout the game, Stan will log them, and you get to actually read and get more of a backstory on the lore, which I thought worked very well. And also, you have a crafting table as well, where you're able to upgrade, and you're also able to craft things that Stan is going to need, such as repair kits, just in case the Moon gets damaged. Oxygen stick, which is definitely when you are not in the Moon, that is crucial, because it keeps Stan helping and breathing. What I usually do is I always make sure I craft enough repair kits, oxygen sticks, and of course fuel units, so that way the Moon is always stocked with fuel, because the last thing you want to be is stranded. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the graphics here, because the graphics I thought worked very well, especially underwater. And one thing I was really pleasantly surprised about is the fact that you can go up to the surface. Now, you can't really go on land or anything like that, but it's nice that just in case you get tired of the underwater premise, you can go up there and see the beautiful vastness of this world. Just look how gorgeous this game looks. And this is on my PS4 base, by the way. The game looks absolutely gorgeous. It runs very well in terms of frame rate. Little clips in here and here on my PS4 base, but it didn't take me out of it. I thought the graphics, the gorgeous, and the art style worked very well. Gives you that really type of feel. So let's talk a little bit about sound. Here's a sample.
Brother, it is, but its contents aren't listed. Something about deep sea research.
Ominous. Okay. Checking it off. 3105.
Checking.
There once was a ship that put to the sea. The name of the ship was the Billion. When it blew up, I bowed it down. I blow my bully boys blow. Huh! The full moon come, they bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tongue is done, we'll take our leave and go. Jump into it. The captain called all hands and saw, we'll take that whale in tow. Huh! The woman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum.
There once was a man that went to sea. I love that song. I mean, hey, if you watch our show, the UWL, you already know that's the great song of the great tales of Captain James Walker. But anyway, let's talk about the sound here. The sound quality is really, really good. And especially the fact that they make sure that the sound sounds like how it would sound if you're underwater. And I really thought the voice acting performances was really strong, especially for the main lead, Stan, who really has to show that type of isolation and type of kind of mental well, can't really spoil it, but kind of that mental challenge of what he's going through in his situation. I really thought that the sound quality did a really good job. Music wise, it's a nice ambience type of sound, what really complements the tone and feel of the game. Some of the soundtracks sound really dark and gritty, but it works for the type of environment that you are in. You're under sea, so it's not something that's just gonna be all sunshines and rainbows. It's a dark, gritty place down under the sea, and I thought they did a really good job of keeping that tone here, especially in the later chapters of the game where Stan is just and not really in a good mental state of a place, and things and weird stuff are just happening, and the music just really complicates that. So my final thoughts for Under the Waves, this is getting a solid B+. This is a very unique game, and for those who want something different, or at least a game with a different setting with a really good narrative. I will say though, one thing I really was kind of disappointed in with this game was that there is a particular time jump. And I thought that the time jump, just the premise of the game alone, I would have loved to experience all the days of the game. They jumped from, I think, day 3 to day 14. So I would have loved to see and play out each day to really, I think that would have really helped on the characterization point of seeing what the story is going to offer and seeing Stan. He's also aided by this kind of AI computer, and it doesn't really do much, but it's nice to still have Stan to talk to. And I would say another complaint is that there are things in the hub where Stan is taking residence in, and he can't use certain things. Like there's a shower there, but he can't shower. There's a fridge there, but it doesn't open. It would have been nice to really add more gameplay elements to Stan to make sure that he eats, he goes to the bathroom, he gets rid of his waste and things like that. They don't really do that. It's just there for show. It would have been nice to really get that real experience, kind of like a slice of life sim type of experience where you just got to get up and do your missions and make sure that Stan is constantly kind of like, I would say, Eternal Darkness, where you got to really make sure their mental state is good. That I think that would have really helped if they included a little bit more on Stan's part here. But overall, this was a fun game. I had a blast. It's an emotional, gripping story. Definitely pick this one up. This is Justin from TalkingToGeeks.com. If you like what we do here, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're watching this on YouTube. And thank you for supporting TalkingToGeeks.com. Later days. Catch you in the next one. Peace.